Hey guys, it's Doug here, and today we're taking a look at the VEVOR gas pressure washer. This should be a great option if you're looking for a powerful and versatile pressure washer. Let me tell you about some of its key features while you watch me assemble it, and then I'll show you what it's like to use, and then I'll come back, give you my review, let you know what that actual experience was like using it. So those key features are, it's got a 3500 PSI, which is a high pressure rating, right? This is going to give you plenty of power, I assume. It's got a 2.6 GPM, which is a decent flow rate, which should really get any job done quickly. It's gas powered, which is obviously awesome. It's got an aluminum pump, which should be durable and long lasting. So while I was telling you about these key features, look, I did my whole driveway and walkways. Why don't we go talk to me right after I got it done and get that real opinion right while I'm still hot and sweaty after doing all the work. Before I tell you all about it, I do need to tell you, just to be fair, this was provided to me to do this review, but VEVOR is great. They just send you the stuff. They're like, just tell them whatever you find. And so that's what I'm going to do right here. And I got another handful, which I won't quite call them complaints, but you're going to see their recommendations to VEVOR to change this unit. So let's talk about the basics. First off, I have been let's call it a horsepower fanboy. I have always bought like the crazy 10 and 12 horsepower, ridiculous power washers. And we moved here to Florida. I didn't bring it with me. And this came up and I was like, sure, let's do it. They were like, it's 7 horsepower. I'm like, okay, let's try it. Let's see what happens. And I have to tell you, I have been so wrong. It's crazy. I mean, I used to race cars professionally. We used power washers for all the heavy equipment. We used power washers around the house forever. Always those big heavy units. This 7 horsepower unit was phenomenal. Did absolutely everything I needed it to do instantly, easily. I don't know what is wrong with me that I've been getting these crazy oversized units. This thing is perfect for residential use, probably even like commercial use. One other thing that I learned in that process was I was really prepared to complain about this gas tank because it looks so physically small. I assumed it wasn't going to have enough gas to really get jobs done. And we have a pretty darn enormous driveway that you've been watching me clean. I only had to refill this thing once during that process. So I was completely wrong again about the amount of gas you need. I guess with the smaller, more modern engine, it works perfectly. Speaking of it being a little more modern of an engine slash motor, it started first pull every single time. Any of you who have sat here going, and then you got to release some pressure, don't worry about it. First pull every single time, even out of the box. I got it, I put the oil in, ejected, boom, started right up. I was so impressed. How about something I'm not so impressed with? I have a little bit of a complaint in that it only has one speed, full speed, which means if I want to swap from this wand to the VEVOR scrubber for the driveway, I can't do it. I have to like stop the whole thing, let it stop, unscrew it, hook it into that one, start it up again. There needs to be some sort of way to either throttle it down so there's not a ton of pressure, or some sort of bypass so that you could unplug it and plug it in again without stopping the machine. So now what I ended up doing, my little personal hack, was I used a garden hose where I'd put a valve right here, like a valve to turn off the garden hose, the water supply. So I would have it running, I would turn off that water supply, release the pressure, yank this, plug in the scrubber, go with the scrubber, vice versa, go back and do it again. That was my answer for it. I don't think I should have to come up with an answer. VEVOR should come up with that answer. So that's my request to them. While we're talking about that, you see this? First off, this wand is great. I have been so lazy and so abusive to it. Nikki would be really mad at me because I just like kind of drop it instead of putting it down nice on the ground, and it has stood up to all that. But here's my complaint. You see this? All this port part here where I can go like this and take it off, switch it, put something else on, put it back on, any of that kind of stuff. You can't do it when it comes out of the box. So as part of the process of getting a value piece, it comes with this kind of very cheap, very basic hose, which only threads on, and it only threads onto this. So I ended up having to go to the local store, buy a whole set of these little adapters, hydraulic adapters. They're super easy, ton of them, very available, to put that on so I could do that. So I could unplug this, go to the scrubber, plug this into the scrubber, and then come back and do this, which doesn't seem like a very complicated request. It seems like something people would want to be able to do, but when this comes out of the box, it doesn't come with those adapters. So this is, again, another request to VEVOR. You should really include a set of these adapters. I can't imagine it would affect the price that much, but it would make this whole thing much more usable. Having said all that, This thing is freaking awesome. I am so impressed with this. It's not loud, it's easy to start, sips gasoline, and works so well. So I have to say this is absolutely a 6 out of 5 on the Doug score. If you want to get it, there's going to be a link down here. You can just click on it right on the screen. Worst case, it's in the description. Really helps the channel if you go and use those links. While you're down there, remember to like, subscribe, follow. It does really make a difference, so please do that for us. Overall, you absolutely cannot go wrong with this package, the system, the whole thing is freaking amazing. You should get yourself one if you're at all curious. I hope this has been helpful. We'll see you next time.